This is the day 11 homework, and it is all about trapezoids and kites. With a little of this extra mid-segment business thrown in. The mid-segment of a trapezoid is the segment that connects the midpoints of its legs. So if this red segment EF is the mid-segment, that means E is the midpoint of AD, and F is the midpoint of BC. Turns out that the mid-segment is parallel to the bases. So basically all three of these lines are going to be parallel. And also the length of the mid-segment is the average of the lengths of the two bases. Average. How do we find the average of two numbers? Well, we add them up and we divide by 2. So for example, let's say if this was 10 and this was 4, if I wanted to find the length of the mid-segment, I would have to do 10 plus 4 divided by 2, because that's the average. So that would be 14 divided by 2, that would be 7. Okay, so if this base was 10 and this base was 4, the mid-segment would be 7, because that's the average of 10 and 4. So just keep all that in mind, my friends. Anyways, quadrilateral ABCD is a trapezoid with mid-segment EF. Use the given information to answer the following. Okay, angle B is 73 degrees. Find measure of angle C. Okay, so we're being given that this over here is 73 degrees. We're supposed to find this down here. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, let's focus on this for a second. Focus on angle B and angle C. Supplementary, okay? Angle B and angle C are consecutive angles. They are these angles on the leg over here. These angles like B and C will be supplementary, just like angles like A and D will be supplementary. Notice that because this is not a parallelogram, angles like D and C will not be supplementary, nor will angles A and B. So it's just sort of the leg angles. Remember, like AD is a leg, BC is a leg. Leg angles are supplementary. So if I want to find the measure of angle C, I will simply do 180 minus 73. And that should give me the measure of angle C. And that turns out to be 107. Okay, so angle C is 107 degrees. Next, angle A is 51. Okay, angle A is 51 degrees. Angle C is 105. So this is 105. We're supposed to find the measure of angle D. Okay, we're supposed to find this guy right here. Well, once again, I think the 105 is just here to make sure you're paying attention. Okay, we don't actually need the 105, but it's because it's these angles that are supplementary, A and D. The consecutive, the leg angles are supplementary. So once again, in order to find this angle, I just need to do 180 minus 51, which is 129. So this should be 129 degrees. Okay. You know what? Do I have enough of these to do all of these? No, I do not. So I am going to have to erase and reuse some of these. In fact, I may have to do that right now. Okay. So I'm actually going to do, you know what I'm going to do? Tell you what I'm going to do. No, I'll just do it right here. Okay. It's time for me to do this next one. Angle A is 48. Okay, so I'm starting over. Hope you were paying attention. Okay, angle A is 48. Okay, so that's 48 right here. Angle C is 112. So this is 112 degrees. Now I'm supposed to find the measure of angle CFE. Okay, so I got to be careful. I think I'm going to need another color. Okay, CFE. That's angle C to F to E. Okay, there's angle CFE that I just did in blue. So this is the angle that I'm trying to find right here. Okay, well look, these angles will be supplementary. This is like a little mini trapezoid. Since this blue line right here is parallel, I could ignore the top half of this trapezoid and just look at this guy as a little mini trapezoid. So in this little mini trapezoid, because these are parallel, angle C and angle F here are leg angles, so they will be supplementary. So if I want to find this angle right here, I will just do 180 minus 112. Again, the 48 just really doesn't have anything to do with it. So it's just there to make sure you're paying attention. So 180 minus 112, that is 68. Okay, so this angle is 68. 68 degrees right here. Okay, so it's 68 degrees. Okay. Alright, let's do number 7. AB is 28. Okay, so this side up here is 28. DC is 13. So this side down here is 13. Find EF. Okay, let's call it X. Remember, so this EF is the mid segment. It should be the average of the two bases. So in other words, the mid segment here should be the average of the bases. So the way you find the average is you add them up and divide by 2. Okay, so I'm just putting that in my calculator. So I need to do 28 plus 13 divided by 2. So I could do that just like it looks. Use the fraction button. So 28 plus 13 divided by 2. 41 over 2. Let's make that a decimal. 20.5. Okay, 20.5 is the answer. Okay, let's look at number 8. EF is 13. Okay, so that means this is 13. DC is 6. So DC is 6. And then find AB. So this time we're looking for this. I think I'm going to call it N this time, just so the work doesn't get confused with this other part. In fact, I think I'll change colors for that matter. So the average of the two bases should equal the mid segment. So in this case, it's going to be like this. The mid segment should equal the average of the bases. So n plus 6 divided by 2. Alright, just soak that in, okay? If you look at what we did last time, the x was by itself, because that's the mid segment. The 28 and the 13, those are the bases. I added those up and divided by 2. This time, n, the unknown, is one of the bases. So I do base plus base divided by 2. N plus 6 divided by 2. And that should equal, that average should equal the mid segment. So the mid segment has to be the number that's by itself. So it's just a matter of solving this. How do I do that? Multiply by the denominator. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. That way these 2's will cancel. That's going to give me 26 equals n plus 6. Subtract the 6 from both sides, and that's going to give me n equals 20. Okay, that is the answer. So this is going to be 20. Alright, let's take a close look at number 9. Number 9, so we have EF is x plus 5. Okay, so alright, so this will be x plus 5. That's EF. And then let's see. Okay, they say DC plus AB is equal to 4x plus 6. And I'm supposed to find the value of EF. Okay. Look, here's the deal. Let me start over for a second. Let me use simple variables to make this clear. Let's say that this is the mid segment, so I'm going to call it M. Okay, let's call this base X and call this base Y. Now, the relationship between these two bases in the mid segment is the mid segment should equal the average of the two bases. Okay, so can you understand that that means that M should equal, what am I about to write with the X and the Y? It should equal x plus y divided by 2. Okay, the mid segment should equal the average of the two bases. So M should equal x plus y divided by 2. That's the average of the bases. So that's the concept that we're dealing with. Now, okay, so now let me modify that. And here's what I'm going to do. Instead of using these letters, I'm going to actually use the segments. So the mid segment is segment EF. So let me go ahead and write EF. Okay, that should equal the average of the two bases. So instead of X, I'm going to put AB. Okay, because X was AB. Instead of Y, I'm going to put DC. Okay, because that's what y really was, the length DC. And that should be divided by 2. Okay, so the mid segment should equal the one base plus the other base divided by 2. Same concept, just written a little differently. Now, I'm going to throw out these variables, because that's not what we really have. Let's just work with this. Now, let's see what we've got. EF is x plus 5. Okay, so in for EF, I'm going to put x plus 5 equals. Okay, now look at this right here. This is key. DC plus AB is equal to 4x plus 6. Okay? Well, look. DC plus AB, that's what this is. AB plus DC, DC plus AB. So DC plus AB is 4x plus 6. So that means this numerator is 4x plus 6. So I can go ahead and do that substitution. 4x plus 6. Because we're told that this sum is equal to 4x plus 6. So I should be able to solve this equation for x. And that's what I'm going to do. In order to solve this equation, one thing I can do is multiply by the denominator. So if I multiply by 2 on this side of the equation, and I multiply by 2 on this side of the equation. Alright, over here I'm going to have to do the distributive property though. Over here these twos are going to cancel each other out. Okay, so this is going to give me 2x plus 10 is equal to 4x plus 6. These twos just cancel each other out. Anytime I have a variable on both sides of the equation, I got to get rid of one of them. So I think I'll get rid of the 2. So just try to keep things positive. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So that's going to give me, because these are gone now, that's going to give me 10 equals 2x plus 6. Subtract 6 from both sides. So that's going to give me 4 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2. That's going to give me 2 is equal to x. Now, we're not supposed to simply find x. That is not the answer to the question. I've done most of the work, but we're supposed to find EF. Okay, now going back to the beginning though, EF is equal to x plus 5. Do you see that? But now we know what x is. So I could take this x and I could plug it in right there. Okay, so that means EF, instead of x plus 5, this will become 2 plus 5. So of course EF will equal 7. Okay, so EF equals 7. So that is how you do that. Soak it in. Soak it all in. Okay. So EF was 7. Okay, moving on. Number 10. West is a kite. Find the measure of the missing angles. I feel like I should zoom in, man. Let's do this. What's up? Okay, look at number 10. This is a kite. One of the key things about kite is symmetry. Like, I can see the line of symmetry goes like this. Okay, that line I just drew is my line of symmetry. Okay, anyway, somewhere in your brain you have to know that what's the total degrees inside any quadrilateral? Total degrees is 360. So you should be starting from 360 and subtracting the 29 and the 95. So minus 29 minus 95. Let's see what's left over. Okay, so 360 minus 29 minus 95. That leaves 236 degrees. Okay, now this 236 degrees is to be shared equally between angle T here and angle E over there. So since it's got to be shared equally, of course we're going to have to go back and divide by 2. So that's 118 if you split it evenly. Okay, so that means this is 118 and this is 118 degrees. Okay, well those are the missing angles. Angle E is 118 and angle T is 118. Okay, that's done. Now, moving on to number 11. Again, the line of symmetry is right here. Symmetry, yeah. Okay, if that's the line of symmetry, then that means that if E is 113, then angle T is also 113. So we are right back to subtracting from 360 again. Alright, we have 3 out of 4 angles, so we're just going to do 360 minus 113 minus 113 minus 37. And whatever we get, that should be angle W. Okay, so 360 minus, I forgot the numbers already, 113, 113, and 37. 113 minus 113 minus, wow, my memory's bad, 37. Okay, that leaves 97 degrees. Okay, there's only one angle left, so that means angle W is our 97 degrees. Yeah. Alright, so that's it for number 11. Alright. Alright, can you see where the line of symmetry is? Okay, there's your line of symmetry right there. I feel like I should make these a different color. Wouldn't you say? Let's use this interesting color. That is the line of symmetry for this shape. So that means if this is 88 on the left, then this will be 88 on the right. Symmetry. So we're back to this again. 360 minus 88 minus 88 minus 107. Yeah, 107. That leaves 77 degrees. Okay, that means angle S there is 77 degrees. That is how you do that. Okay, let's see what's up with number 13. Oh yes, a little Pythagorean theorem. Oh yes. Look. What do they tell us here? This is a kite. One of the special properties of a kite is that the diagonals are perpendicular, just like for a rhombus. So please understand that all of these little angles in here are going to be 90 degrees. That's why we are allowed to do the Pythagorean theorem. Now, what are we supposed to find? The side lengths. Okay, so we have to find like WT and EW. Alright, so we're going to have to do the Pythagorean theorem twice. So let's see. Let's say if I call this side X and I'll call this side Y. Okay, I'm going to actually find Y first. No, I'll find X first. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a line. So over here, so a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So that means x squared that's my c squared, is equal to 7 squared plus 3 squared. Okay, so 7 squared plus 3 squared, that's 58. So x squared is equal to 58. If I take the square root of both sides, square root, that's going to give me x equals, okay, so let's do square root of 58. Okay, it doesn't simplify, so we'll just leave it as square root of 58. So x is equal to the square root of 58. Okay, so that means square root of 58, that's EW and ES. So I'm just going to put here EW and ES. Okay, so those are those two sides. Now we just need the WT and the ST, and that's going to be Y. So here we go again. Alright, c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. So that would be 3 squared plus 10 squared. Well, that's going to be 9 plus 100. Okay, so that's going to be 109. If I take the square root of both sides, square root, y is going to equal, see, will that simplify? Alright, square root of 109. Nope, that does not simplify. So once again, we'll have this radical, square root of 109. Okay, and that's going to equal WT, and that's also going to equal ST. Okay, so there's number 13 done thoroughly. Alright, these other two are like the same exact thing. I think I'm going to pause the tape and work these out off camera, but it's going to be exactly the same as this. So I'm just going to work it out, and you can just see the answer and just look at the work if you have to. Okay, but I'm not going to bore you by making you watch me work out every step. Alright. Hopefully you paused the tape and you pause the recording and you work these problems out on your own. Hopefully you're not just copying me. If you're just sitting there straight copying off the video, shame on you. Do your own work. But at any rate, I'm going to count to 10 and then I'm going to go on to the next page. So if you are going to shamefully just copy off the screen, you're going to have to pause the tape because I'm about to move on. Last chance, hit pause now. Okay, I'm moving on. All that stuff is the same thing. Okay. So let's go to the back and see what's there for us. So we're supposed to find these angles, F, G, and H. It's all about the symmetry, my friends. This is an isosceles trapezoid. See how these legs are the same? When you have yourself an isosceles trapezoid, that creates some symmetry. Okay? Maybe I should make this a dotted line. Can I do that? Is it possible? Yes, it is. Alright, the dotted line I just drew, and I shall make it blue. You know what? I like that orange color. Whatever that is. Anyway, the dotted line I just drew, that is the line of symmetry for this isosceles trapezoid. So symmetry helps you see what's going on. So if this is 110 up there, then this will be 110 degrees down here. So check. That's H. Now, because of symmetry, these two angles will be the same. I don't really care about that. Here's what I care about. Angles like F and J are supplementary. Alright? Angles that are sharing a leg, right? Because this is a leg of the trapezoid, and these are bases. Anyway, angles that are on the same leg are going to be supplementary. So I can really just do 180 minus 110. So that's going to be 70. So angle F here is going to be 70 degrees. I subtracted from 180. And obviously this will be the same deal down here. That'll be 70 degrees. Remember, I could check my work. If you add up these four angles, you should get 360. Because the sum of the angles in any quadrilateral should be 360. So you should check it out when you get the chance. We're going to do the same exact thing up in this area right here. There's my line of symmetry. Okay, I don't think I'll bother making a dot at this time. Who's got the time for that? So symmetry, you see it, I see it. That's 68, so this will be 68. Okay, and then there's the whole supplementary thing. Angles like these, H and J, sharing a leg, those angles will be supplementary. So once again, to find angle H, I'm just going to do 180 minus 68. See, like this. 180 minus 68. And that's 112. So that tells us that the angle H here is 112. And because of the whole symmetry thing, that means angle G is also 112. So that is how you do that. Nothing else over there. Okay. Mid segment. Okay, we're back to this again. The mid segment should be the average of the two bases. I'm going to call this X. So the mid segment should be the average of the bases. So that should be 17 plus 21 divided by 2. Kabam. Okay, so the mid segment is 19 for number 18. Okay, let's move on to number 19. Same exact thing. Okay, I'm going to let X be my mid segment again. So again, the mid segment should be the average of the two bases. The parallel lines are always the bases. So I'm doing 64 plus 82 divided by 2. $73. So the mid segment is 73. Alright, anything else over there? No. Okay. Let's look at number 20. Find the value of X. The mid segment should equal base plus base divided by 2. So in this case, that means 2x minus 1, that's the mid segment, should equal base plus base divided by 2, the average of the bases. So 10 plus 44 divided by 2. Okay, so that means 2x minus 1 should equal 54 divided by 2. 54 divided by 2 is 27. So just solving this out, add 1 to both sides. So that's going to give me 2x equals 28 divided by 2. Alright, x equals 14. Alright, so in this case we're just supposed to find the value of x, which is 14. So that's it. 21, same thing. Remember, the idea is that the mid segment should equal base plus base divided by 2. Okay, the mid segment should be the average of the two bases. In this case, the mid segment is 32. So that's why 32 goes over here by itself. Should equal base plus base. So that's going to be 4x plus 43 divided by 2. Alright, the mid segment equals base plus base divided by 2 because it's the average of the bases. So it's just a matter of how do I solve this. When I see a denominator, my first instinct is to multiply by the denominator. So let's try multiplying by 2 on both sides. See how far that gets us. So that's going to give us 64 equals 4x plus 43. Time to subtract 43 from both sides, yeah? Okay, so that is going to give us 21 is equal to 4x. Alright, dividing both sides by 4. Okay. $5.25. Alright, so we're supposed to find x. Remember, one more time, that the mid segment should equal base plus base divided by 2. In this case, the mid segment is 17.1. So this equation becomes 17.1 equals base plus base divided by 2. So that's going to be 2x plus 8x plus 3.2. Okay, divided by 2. Okay, mid segment equals base plus base divided by 2. So it's just a matter of simplifying this and solving for x. Alright, well, in this area right here we have some like terms. So this equation is going to become 17.1 equals 8x plus 2x, of course that's 10x, plus 3.2 divided by 2. Now it's time to do the thing I like to do, which is multiply by the denominator. So I'm going to multiply by 2 on both sides. That way these 2's will cancel out. Alright, 2 times 17.1 is 34.2. Okay, so 34.2 is equal to 10x plus 3.2. Time to subtract 3.2 from both sides. Okay, 34.2 minus 3.2, that's like 31. Okay, that's 31. Alright, so this is going to give us 31 equals 10x. Alright, dividing both sides by 10. It gives me x is equal to 3.1. Okay, I found x once again. Alright, I think this is the last problem on the page. So, number 23. Oh, no more mid-segment, huh? Okay. Oh, well, this is easy. Line of symmetry. This is a kite. Alright, you see these segments are congruent and these segments are congruent, so I'm hoping you can see a line of symmetry going through like this. Okay. So that is a line of symmetry. Okay, because that is a line of symmetry, I am hoping that you can see that this angle and this angle should be congruent. They should be equal to each other. So I can just make a simple little equation out of that. So 2x should equal 111. And then we will simply divide by 2. Okay, so that's going to give me x equals 55.5. Okay, and that is the answer for number 23. And that's the end of the homework.